Hello guys, terribly sorry about the delay, but apparently some audio issues that cannot be solved easily, but they are now solved, so that's always nice. And yeah, thank you for Chris stepping in there for the emergency announcement. Obviously, once again, I am joined by Chris. I'll just put the webcams up. How are you doing today, Chris? Look up, you can see me, you can hear me, it's great, it's great.
I am doing fine now. The audience can hear you as well, so everything is going much better than it was about 30 seconds ago. So yeah, good start.
As I'm sitting there panicking, swearing, and generally not enjoying this time.
It's fine. It's fine. It's all working now.
Yeah,
so
that's all that matters.
We are up and running.
Yeah, that's always good. So, once again, Fast Expand episode, what would this be? 4? Episode 4?
It is episode 4. Episode
4? Wow, starting to lose track. That's pretty bad.
We are already older than my mental age, so it is going well.
Yes, going really well. So, once again, we are going to start with the news segment, and what's first on today's list, I guess?
Well, first on today's list is definitely DreamHack results.
Yeah, of course. What else would it be? So, a little bit of whining at the moment about Terrans not making it past round of 16. But if you look at the bracket, it's like, you know, it has to happen. Like, I think someone put on Reddit, like, the chance of a race not making it out of top 16 was actually like really high. Like, it was something like there was, I can't remember what it was. It was really, really high. Like, it was in the upper like 90% like likelihood anyway. But yeah, should we announce the winner of DreamHack? Is that cool to do?
I don't know. If people haven't watched it, I doubt they're going to have the time to watch it. So, spoiler warning: Colin will announce the winner in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It was, of course, Mouse Sports Mana. Oh my god, was those good games.
And very much as an upset, a surprise. Not many people obviously expected him. Not that loads of people behind him, but people were surprised to see him.
If you look at the people that are actually in the top 8, it was all fairly surprising.
Yeah, well, Stefano is fairly obvious. But I honestly didn't expect Demarga to beat Naniwa. I'll say that much at least.
Well, who beat Hero?
Hero was beaten by...
It was 2-1
Mana.
Yeah, it was by Mana, wasn't it? And then, of course, like, the... I can't remember what nationality it is, but Freya? The Protoss? Like,
Freya is Ukraine.
Ukrainian, yeah. He was completely dominating. Like, nobody expected him to even make out the first group stage.
I'm going to be fairly embarrassed here and say that I haven't even heard of him.
Exactly. I think he actually trains with White Ra. I think he's one of White Ra's training partners. But
I think he does.
He's fairly
Ukraine players need to stick together.
Yeah, but he's fucking amazing, absolutely amazing. Like, to get out of the group stages when you're unknown, good. To get into the top 8 when you're unknown, even better. To beat some of the people he beat, incredible. Absolutely incredible. He did have a lot of PvPs though, which some people are kind of criticising him, saying like his PvP is his best matchup. He's lucky he never run into, you know, Tasia, Keen, that sort of thing. But you know, still he done really well, and I'm sure he's really, really proud of himself.
Absolutely. And some of the other players, like I'd say that one of the teams that had the best showing, they didn't take that many top spots, but for the amount of players they had there, Team Infused really, really surprised people there. Like, for example, we have the players they had there were Zictomini, Starnan, and Protosser.
Now, Protosser has made quite a lot of impact this weekend. He was actually mentioned on State of the Game last night.
He was. So he wasn't. Zictomini was mentioned on the Too Good couch as well, wasn't he? Yeah,
exactly. Like, it's surprising. I know it's like nobody expects him to do well, but it's so nice seeing them do well. Like, I expected Zictomini to do well. Like, I didn't expect him to get as far as he did, to be honest.
No, he topped his first 2 groups. It's outstanding before, like, he had one of the toughest groups when he got...
Well, he had Stefano in his group, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. That was his first group. But when he got to, like, his last group, Neriko, Protosser, and Forzane, that's a bit terrifying. And Forzane went out in that group as well.
Yeah,
so
I know. It's like...
he's going out. there's not that much hope for anyone else.
If someone who just played a Code S match goes out, I think it's okay if you go out.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
Protosaur as well. He got through to the round of 16 in the brackets and dominated his way to get there. Like, he was in Zictomany's group in the group stage 3. He was all over the place. And then Starnan, who didn't do as well.
I was going to say, you were backing him. You were really backing him.
I was backing him, but he really surprised people where he was going to a group and people were like, who the hell is Starnan in this group? He's going to go down to Sase, which was who was in
nobody
the
knew who
Took
he
the
was.
first game on Sase, and people were like, what?
I was going to say, nobody knew who he was. Like, everyone was looking at him. All the casters were casting him, and nobody knew who he was. It was. I watched that game because I made it a thing to watch that game. Like, I had to watch Starnan play because you told me so much about him. You said he was a really good player, and he played really, really, really well. But none of the casters knew who he was.
No, I saw him make a couple mistakes against.
But he's not.
I can't remember who it was. It was a Zerg player in, I think, the first group stage.
Yeah, he threw a game away. It was quite bad.
He did. It was against Morrow. That was it.
Yeah, it was. And that's right. That's the game I watched.
Yeah, that was a bit not so great. But when he played against Sase, he says his PvP is his worst matchup, but he just...
I think everyone says that.
Played Sase in that first game.
Yeah, I think everyone says PvP is their worst matchup. I don't blame them. It's a horrible matchup.
Even the Zerg say PvP is their worst matchup.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all good for DreamHack. Another big thing about DreamHack, of course, it was on Swedish television. It was on Swedish television, like SVT, Swedish television. Like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is
TV.
Massive step forward. A massive indication of what is to come. And apparently I'm getting texts.
Oh, you naughty fella.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's the BBC Two equivalent of Swedish television. So that is absolutely massive.
I mean, the closest we've had to that in the UK, Sky TV broadcast a national gaming one a while ago, which was held in Bristol. Yeah, it was quite a while ago though, but it was like multi-games. They had Forza and Counter-Strike and all that lot.
Okay.
But the closest we've had to that would be Bravo, who...
Yeah, they used to do a lot of gaming
They used to broadcast a lot of gaming stuff.
Yeah, but of course that kind of died, so let's not mention that one because
it's because they didn't
any potential investors.
It's because they didn't do good enough content. They didn't focus on the esports aspect. They focused on little retro game reviews, which is all Bravo really did.
Yeah.
If there are investors out there, then I would recommend investing in a thing called esports.
Yeah, I mean, Sweden's always one of those countries that are slightly ahead of the curve when it comes to technology and getting out there. Like, Sweden was the first country ever to like fiber optic its whole country, basically. Like, most of their country is now fiber optic, super fast.
Europe,
yeah. Obviously England's now following behind with the fiber optic cables, blah blah blah. Do you think it's only a matter of time before we have something on TV?
I can hope so. I really hope that there's something on TV. We've already had something with Sky TV, and there is a lot of channels on Sky TV. I think that if esports starts off on something that either on Sky or possibly Freeview is where we really want to get to, because that is when everyone can get in and everyone can just go, oh my god, esports is on, I can just turn this on and watch.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, but like, I think we were discussing slightly before the show as well, like, if it was on pay-per-view, like you see the UFC and stuff, would you be willing to pay for it? Would you be willing to pay like I know like MLG charges you for the spring arenas, for example, and they charge you for the HD pass, but would you be willing to pay the equivalent to watch it on your TV? Is that like,
if it was like the MLG pass, it was an event's worth content where they had all the stuff from the event, where they had behind the scenes during the matches, as many matches as possible.
Well, you could watch like, what was it, 8 streams?
Yeah, something like that, and also no lag. If they could manage it with no lag, then obviously just did it without internet, did it with normal TV broadcasting stuff, then yes, I would absolutely pay for that.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. Like, it's hard to find that balance because as an internet user, for example, like, if I pay for MLG, you pay the $15-20, whatever it is, and you get to watch 8 streams. You get to watch it from the perspective. You get to watch all the little group matches that you don't get to see. You get to see the behind the scenes, the interviews, etc., etc. for $20. I mean, you can't really moan at that. But then you go like, oh, but if it was on like Sky Sports or whatever, you'd have to pay. Oh, sorry, Box Office. It would be like probably around £11, which is about $15. But you'd only get to see what they put on that stream. Like, for example,
well, some people can only manage that, so
yeah,
I think that'd be fine. I don't have time to switch between streams.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it's a preference thing, but you know, Sweden's putting it on their national broadcast. Like, everyone that owns a TV in Sweden can watch DreamHack. That's incredible. I don't want to say this like harshly, but what's the likelihood that we ever see an esports tournament on BBC? Like, seriously.
BBC is not in that direction, I think. If we saw one, then it would be on BBC Three. It's as simple as that. But
and it'd be on at like 2 a.m.
I don't really mind that. If it was on BBC Three, that would be incredible, because that is my favourite BBC channel anyway.
Oh,
because it has like
yeah.
Mighty Boosh,
Yeah,
Family
yeah.
Guy, all that stuff. So that would be the perfect place for it, because that's where it's aimed at. Teenagers and young adults. That's where it's aimed. That's perfect place for it.
To be honest, I think if they did it, they'd be pleasantly surprised with the viewing figures.
In the UK, I'm not so sure.
But
if you think it
like,
could work.
Maybe not Starcraft, maybe a general esports thing, like, because there is a lot of people that play COD, and there's a lot of people that watch COD, there's a lot of people that play Halo, a lot of people that watch Halo. So if they'd done like an esports tournament rather than a Starcraft tournament like DreamHack did, for example.
Sky TV, and it got fairly good viewing figures. It was sponsored by I Am Brew, and it was pretty good. It was very entertaining. Like, I tuned in every time it was on. It was very good.
I just think right back then the market wasn't quite ready for it, but I think now definitely is. But yeah, good on DreamHack, good on Sweden. Hey, our Nordic. No, pardon me, our Nordic brothers.
Hey.
Next on the list, still about DreamHack actually, the dedication of the casters. Now, this is something that's been brought up all weekend, all over Reddit. Like Caldor and In Control practically casting for like 14, 15 hours straight. Now, we all know Caldor likes to do that anyway, because
he's going to kill himself one day.
Oh yeah, I mean, but it's so good to see people appreciating the hard work these people put in. Like, usually it's kind of like the only thing you see Reddit full of is complaints about casters or complaints about events, but this weekend was literally like, well done DreamHack for the, you know, the music guy at DreamHack, well done for the production team, well done for the casters, well done for the players. But usually you see Reddit like, the sound went off for 5 seconds, I hate paying for this, I'm never watching esports again. Or it's just like, you know, the caster messed up and, you know, he's ridiculous, why do people employ him? It's just so nice to see positive rather than negatives for once.
Yeah, absolutely. It was DreamHack is one of those events that near enough every single year it gets praise. It doesn't get complaints about it. Like, the only complaint I really saw last year for DreamHack, like, this is the one before Forza, naturally.
I'm guessing you're gonna
last summer.
Yeah, I'm guessing you're gonna say the gaps in between the games.
The gaps in between the games, that was the same problem this year. The one that was last time is they overworked the casters. Because this is back at DreamHack. I think it was last year, maybe the year before, where it was Total Biscuit, Tasteless, Artosis, Apollo, and I think there were some others.
It was the one before last year, then. Yeah.
It was one before last year, yeah. And I think I've said this on the show before, but by the end of it, the end of the day before the finals, it was down to, I think it was Artosis and Apollo. Those were the only two left standing.
There was a Reddit thread about that, wasn't there? Saying like the only 2 surviving people.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like, it wasn't even like they designed to be put together. It was the only people still awake. So it was like, go cast.
Everyone else is passed out on a sofa somewhere.
But
and that's all they had. And
yeah, everybody knows.
The only other complaint I've seen.
Every caster knows that if you do DreamHack, you're doing 15-hour days. But the thing is,
viewer knows if you're doing DreamHack, you're doing 15 hours a day.
But the thing is, like, they could shorten that by so much. Like, there's
if they had
sometimes it's like an hour between the games.
The thing is, all the games are still being played. It's just while they're picking a game and giving the casters a break. I think they should bring in.
Should they do what like MLG does and have like 10 casters?
I think they should have more casters. Yeah, the more time there is in between the games. As much as I love the music and have downloaded near enough all of it, turns out all the songs are an hour long each.
Oh yeah, they're massive mixes, aren't they? Yeah,
they are. Yeah, but as much as I like that music, I would rather see a game.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. There was a point where I tuned in. It was very, very late at night, and I think the music guy had gone home and someone had got hold of it, and they were playing like Wizard of Oz. It was good. Like, I don't mind a bit of theatre, classical, whatever. But he quickly changed it when he realised that probably people were going nuts in the chat. But yeah, I mean, good on DreamHack. Again, overworking casters, but that's DreamHack. So yeah, I think they need more. I think they need maybe 6 more casters.
I don't know. They had a lot of community streams. Very good job of it, but even they took breaks.
I was going to say, Imber TV were doing it, weren't they?
Were GLHF TV?
Yeah.
I don't think they took a break once. I may be wrong on that one.
It's good to see dedication, but you've got to be careful at the end of the day, because if they I know some people that have completely messed up their voices from singing, or that sort of thing. And it's the same with casters. Like, they're no different. If you talk all day for a living, you're going to eventually wear out your voice, and if you're forced to do 15, 16-hour days, it's just going to happen so much quicker. So I guess a little bit of balance, and hopefully DreamHack kind of realise what's going on and sort it out for next year.
Yeah, pretty much. That pretty much covers it.
Yeah, so I'll let you do the next bit of news, because it's kind of your domain right now.
Thank you very much. The next bit of news is the WCS. We've already announced the full list of players of who is going to be there. Now we got an announcement recently out of the ESL. This has been an incredibly difficult secret to keep, and that is that Tasteless and Artosis will be gracing us down in London to cast the live WCS finals. Wow.
Incredible. Like, absolutely incredible.
Absolutely. That's been very hard to keep. I mean, we did get a couple leaks, but they were managed to be squished, basically. But apparently a couple people guessed, but I'm going to call BS on that one, going to be honest, because that was a very well-kept secret.
To be honest, if someone went to secret casters coming to an English event, the first thing I'd float over to is Apollo, obviously.
Yeah.
The next one I kind of float over to is Durasar.
Yeah.
Maybe TB coming back, but obviously that's a bit of a struggle for him. Those are the kind of 3 that I'd float towards, but Tasteless and Artosis, come on. Like, why would you ever think that? Like, that's not even... Like, you might go, oh yeah, I bet Tasteless and Artosis are coming over, but you're saying that so sarcastically that no one will believe you anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And it's definitely going to be great for UK esports. We also saw that the prize pool for the WCS was raised by £5,000, I think it was, up to $1,500.
It's $15,000, isn't it?
15,000, yes, sorry.
Yeah. So incredible. Like, if you show up, if you physically go to the event to play, you get $250. Now, that is probably some of the players that are going. That is definitely the most I've ever won playing a game. I can almost guarantee that. And if they make it to like the final 3, it's a silly amount of money for first place, isn't it? It's close to 5,000.
I have the correct amounts here, I think. Yeah, I do. And if you get 4th, hang on, I have the thing. 9th to 16th is £250. Dollars, sorry. 5th to 8th is $450. 4th place is $900, which is an insane amount, and that's without even qualifying for the European Championships. That's just money. If third place and this and above are obviously going to the European Championships, 3rd place is $1,350. 2nd place is $3,000, and 1st is $6,000.
$6,000.
Which translates to to quite a bit over £5,000, which is outstanding.
How much is MLG if you win MLG? How much is that?
I don't know.
It's only like close to 15,000, isn't it?
I think it is, actually.
So that's like a third of MLG for a 16-player tournament.
Exactly.
Incredible.
Well, you can count the qualifiers, I guess. It would be much more, but for the people who are there...
Yeah, I mean, if you look at I-45, for example, the Bling won it, and he won £1,245, which is about $1,600–1,700. So if you compare that, which was a much bigger tournament, it had a lot more people in it for a start. I guess if you count the qualifiers and whatnot, but if you just count this as a separate tournament because it's a separate prize pool, then that's absolutely insane. You can literally buy a car by winning this tournament, a very decent car. Or you can pay, you know, a year's rent. It's, you know, depending on where you live, of course. But
this is amazing. And the thing is, once you do this, you are going to the European fight.
Exactly, to win even more money.
Bigger.
And a free bloody trip. Yeah, not to mention London. Yeah, if you go into London to play, not only do you get $250 for showing up, you get the bloody transport, you get, you know, the hotel, you get everything free. Like, wow. You know, like, this is what Blizzard should be doing. This is what this should be doing.
What Blizzard doing. This is Blizzard have spent an obscene amount of money on making it so that the players have a really amazing time, and it's a really good experience for them.
Well, the next step is Blizzard, like, they've put so much money into this. Obviously, you know, I can't imagine the amount of man hours, the amount of money that has to go into something like this. But the next thing is sorting out a deal with Sky.
Yes.
Getting that on TV.
Get on that, Blizz.
Yeah, you heard it here. Like, Dustin Browder, I know you're watching.
Absolutely.
But yeah, also
I would be pimping tickets right now, but the thing is, they're gone.
Yeah,
they went off the first day of being announced.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So yeah, guys, if you're down at London, I personally won't be there, unfortunately, but Chris is, obviously. A few other guys from Fast Expand are going as well. So if you want to come say hi, please do. Yeah, I'm sure everyone will appreciate a good hearty handshake or a high five.
Absolutely. I will be down as staff, so I'll be fairly busy, but all the staff will have time to go out amongst the audience and make sure everyone's having a good time. And as you did just mention, we do have a couple people from the Fast Expand going down there who will be getting some coverage of the event. So be sure to check out the Nordrassil Radio YouTube channel after the event if you can't make it, to see that content and see what you missed out on. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, so wraps up the good segment of the news. Unfortunately, there's always good and bad. The GESL. Now,
I heard bad things.
That did not go too well.
I heard it was Zerg City as well.
Well, not only that, I think Zerg finished top 4, like they were all Zerg, but that's kind of like different kind of situation. But their viewership was terrible for what it was. Like, the amount of sponsors, the amount of effort, you know, the people playing.
Well, there was DreamHack on at the same time. That was very poor.
Yeah, but like, you get MLG and other events running side by side, but I've never seen an event go less than, you know, there was at one point on the stream there was only 200 people watching during like a really good game. Like, it was Violet versus someone. Oh, it was Violet the Muslim, I think.
Oh, okay.
It might have been. It was Violet versus someone anyway, but it only had 220 viewers, I think. And like, during peak times of the day, they only had sub 1,000 viewers.
Yeah.
Like, for a massive tournament like that, the way it was advertised, it was on Team Liquid featured, it was tweeted about, you know, they had some decent casters. I think Jurasar was casting it, wasn't he, as well?
I think he was, yes.
Yeah, and EG's caster, I can't never remember his name. His real name's Isaac.
MLG Lee, I think.
Yeah, I think so, but his real name's Isaac, isn't it? It's Isaac something.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. He was casting it, and, you know, there was some big names, big games, big effort, and no viewers. Like, are people afraid to tune into stuff they don't know?
No, I don't think there's any other way to put it. I still stand by it was DreamHack. I mean, if you have the choice between a brand new tournament that you haven't heard of and DreamHack, you're going to watch DreamHack. It's very, very simple.
I suppose, but
unfortunately,
there's a lot of, like, if for example, if you look on TeamLiquid.net right now, there's about 5 different events going on, more than likely, and each one kind of shares the viewership. You know, the bigger ones get more, the little ones get still a lot. I've never seen a tournament of that size go under 1,000 viewers, and that's really bad. Considering the amount of downtime DreamHack had as well, like people could be watching the games in between the downtime, which they probably were, but I wasn't. Like it's kind of hard to determine why it wasn't a success. Like,
no, but all I can say is I didn't see many of the games, but the best thing that I know came out of it would be a picture of all the non-Zerg players, including, albeit the majority of them were Korean.
Yeah.
And it was just like a row of Koreans and the Muslim on the end.
Yeah,
and
the
just
whitest guy
Zerg
ever.
up the top.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, they say Zerg's imbalanced right now, but I don't want to go into that because we could have you could literally argue all day and all night about why one race is better than the other or whatever. But yeah, but again, unfortunately, the GESL didn't do too well, and unfortunately, I don't think it will be a second one now because the first one was abysmal.
Yeah, and there were issues, apparently.
Yeah, Isaac on State of the Game last night said that, well, apparently because Destiny was a tournament Destiny was going to cast, but somebody wrote emails in saying, you know, I don't want associated, you know, with whatever. But apparently Destiny didn't do anything, like, but they're accusing Destiny's followers and fans of basically there was a DDoS attack, and if you don't know what DDoS attack is, basically it's a lot of packets being sent to a specific IP in order to overload it and shut it down. Like, basically what that mean is that any stream they're running would become overloaded, their ISP, their router would reset, their ISP would reset the line, and it would cause the stream to die and come back about 2 minutes later once the DDoS has been put through, like it's done.
It's basically the most common form of aggressive hacking.
Yeah, anyone that has a credit card or a PayPal can get a DDoS server like very, very easily, and you can find out IPs very, very easily as well. But you know, it's basically the childish form of quote unquote hacking. But yeah, apparently the stream was DDoS to hell, causing viewership to like obviously drop out because no one wants to watch a stream that dies every 30 seconds. And then of course there was apparently phone calls. I'm
not sure if it was phone calls. I think it might have been Skype calls.
No, Isaac said phone calls. Like, people got hold of the people that bought early event passes to actually attend the event. They got hold of their names, addresses, phone numbers, whatever, and called them saying, you know, get a refund, the event isn't on anymore, we're sorry. And of course there was emails being flooded out to people like the event is not on anymore. Like, so if this is all true, which of course it may or may not be, it might have been situational, like people might have exaggerated the truth, you know, things might have pointed towards a DDoS, but really it was just bad internet or whatever. But if this is true, this is really, really worrying. Because
it's amazing how immature some people can be.
Well, it's the fact that it'd only take a team of 3 people that kind of know what they're doing to make this happen. You know what I mean? Like, someone to DDoS and someone to send emails out, and then someone to, like, I don't know, supervise the thing, I don't know. But if it seems like if you're not liked, there's not a chance of you ever doing anything. If you don't immediately associate yourself with someone that is liked, for example, you know, anyone that gets in with Day 9 is immediately liked. Anyone that gets in with Husky is pretty much immediately liked. But if you're trying to start out new and you don't grab that massive audience, or you say one wrong thing, it seems like people will get you. Like, people will make it a mission to make sure everything you do fails, and that is really, really worrying.
Okay, yeah. Just a quick thing. The guy we mentioned earlier, Isaac, it is E.G. Azael.
That's right, Azael. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yep,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, he stated on State of the Game yesterday, which is kind of a funny sentence, that this was the event was attacked. Basically, it was sabotaged. It was made so even if they had, you know, £1 million worth of advertising, it would have still failed. Like,
yeah, there's nothing they can do about it, really.
But
unfortunately,
the thing is, like, people don't see it. Like, these 3 people, or 5 people, or 10 people, or 1 person was probably thinking, ha ha ha, I'm going to get them back for not letting Destiny cast, or, you know, even if that's not the situation, it's like, I don't like them, I'm going to do this. And they've now ruined an event. This could have been a bi-yearly event. It could have been another tournament. It could have been ways for players to get more money, more advertising. It could have been so much.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but it's not even the event and the players that it's the big impact on. The impact itself is on the sponsors.
Yeah. And they had a lot of sponsors.
They're the ones who provide the money for this. Yeah. And if they lose that much money because the event gets attacked, why are they going to want to put money in again?
Well, it's not only that. It's like they wouldn't put money into that event, but they might not even put money now into MLG or...
Exactly.
Getting on TV. You know, like, this one guy, if that had have got, like, you know, 30,000 viewers, and this one guy of his little computer company... You know, he's turning a decent profit, obviously, because he's, you know, able to advertise quite widely. And he goes, wow, you know, 30, 40,000 people just see my product. How can I make this better? How can I get 100,000 people to see it? You know, and it's, when it turns around, it's like, oh, by the way, yeah, you spent loads of advertising budget with us, but, you know, 200 people seen it, and then a couple more maybe later, and, you know, the event got attacked. It's really, really worrying. It's really worrying.
It really is, and unfortunately there's not that much we can do about it other than treat the people in that community like children. There's not, which they are pretty much. That's such a spiteful and immature thing to do.
Yeah, unfortunately something's going to have to be done. Like, this cannot ever occur again. Like, if somebody has... obviously, MLG servers would be slightly better than the universities ones, because that's where the event was hosted. But if someone really dedicates some time to sabotaging MLG, that's a multi-million-pound company. If they lose sponsors, we lose MLG. That's it. Like, if they lose their main sponsors, which provide the, you know, venture capital to make MLG happen, that's it. There's no more MLGs. There's not a chance that can survive without sponsorship. If they decide to attack the GSL, Christ, that could go. You know, it's a horrible path to think of, really.
Yeah. I think we need to move off this topic.
Yeah, definitely.
We've pretty much killed it because we're just being angry about it now.
Yeah. So another sad.
Now we move from angry to sad.
Yeah, Nada retiring. Nada.
Yeah. If
you've ever watched Brood War, you know Nada. Like, oh my god, was he a star?
I haven't watched Brood War, and I still know Nada.
Nada was like, there was like Boxer, there was J-Dong, there was Savior, there was Nada, there was Bisu. Like, they were. I mean, was Nada one of the 7 dragons? I can't remember. I think he was. I think he was one of the 7 dragons. But anyway, his career in esports has lasted 10 years, and he's retiring. Hopefully, we'll see him as a coach. Probably quite high.
Would like to see that. Definitely would like to see that.
But is this kind of the first person to retire from esports? Like, after such a long career? Like, I know people have retired from Starcraft 2 after, you know, playing for a year, or, you know, they're going on to do other things. But is this the first person to retire from esports?
I think it is. We're obviously going to be corrected at some point, but I think it's the only person who has properly retired. It's all I can really think.
Well, usually people kind of go, okay, I'm going to stop playing this game and I'm going to go coach. Or it's like, I'm going to stop playing this game and I'm going to go play another game. Or it's like...
Yeah, like Apollo, for example.
Yeah, like Apollo. Or like, for example, Yellow, who went from playing Brood War to coaching League of Legends. You know, he retired from StarCraft to go coach League of Legends team because he was a mental coach. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird that that's happening. I mean, I don't want to say it, but if one person retires, does that mean it starts people retiring and we start losing people? And
I don't think that. I would not treat that as a bad thing at all. The fact that he is retiring means that he is in a situation where he can retire.
Yeah.
And if he can retire, then good on him. He's had a really, really good run. We hope to see him again in the future, basically.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's all from this week. Any last announcements or anything, Chris?
Nope, have none. Just can't wait to see everyone who is heading down to London not this weekend, but next weekend for the WCS UK finals. As many people as possible will be there. The contestants are hugely excited. There's like, I wouldn't say secret, but there is a chat on Starcraft where there's a lot of hype going around with just the players in it, and they are excited. They are looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be really good. I'm so annoyed that I can't get down, but you know, circumstances and all that stuff. So anyone that is going down, I hope you enjoy it doubly for me. And yeah, that wraps up this week's news. I'm going to take a short music and ad break, and then back for some coaching, hopefully. Yet to hear a response, unfortunately. But yeah, hopefully going to coach a replay or two for you guys, so you'll be able to kind of see what's going on and hopefully learn a little bit something. And then 2 best of 5s later in a kind of team league style between, is it Starcade, Fluid, GG, and Firelight, is it?
It's not Firelight. It's not. Sorry, it is Firelight. It's not Starcade though. It is.
No, it's.
I don't know how to pronounce it. It is Yao.
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 Y-A-O. Yao. Or Yo.
Yao.
We'll have to ask him. Anyway, short music and ad break, guys. Stay tuned for hopefully some coaching. If not, we'll just jump straight into the best of 5s and try the coaching again next week. So yeah, guys. As I said, a couple of ads. Bit of music, and back in 2 or 3 minutes. Thank you for watching. See you soon.
Bye.